Welcome into Whiteside Sports. Seeing how long I could hold that. Woo. If you were, listening to a basic kind of thing, maybe that kind of reverberated your speakers.
Yeah, maybe they thought that like they were adjusting it, that their speakers weren't turning on.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
The nice hum in the speaker that they thought was screwed up.
Something's wrong with my AirPods. Whoever uses those, I don't know.
Everybody I see uses those. I don't have
a lot of people that don't like them. Because I have kind of the earbuds for me. They always fall out. I just,
I would for sure lose them.
Instantly
lose them. And I know they come in that little cartridge where you charge them, but I would for sure lose that too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have pockets and everything, but I don't usually have to carry around headphones because I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
So I don't need to just listen to music whenever I have free time,
You could listen to podcasts.
I could.
Since we do a couple.
I understand that, but I don't just walk around, And
I mean, I like the thought of the AirPods and the Raycons or the one you hear on all the other podcasts, but mainly for the fact of if you're using the old wired ones, when you're working and stuff, it always kind of breaks that connection
a little bit,
kind of at the tip, and then it starts cutting in and out, and then it starts. I mean,
yeah, I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand why you're doing it, and they're probably pretty nice, but for sure, I would either lose them or drop them somewhere. Forget I had them. Wash them.
Not gonna lie, I lost my Beats, and they're pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I mean,
say that they're actual headphones.
Those are great. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did like them because I don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
But tell you what, you work outside when it's 90 out.
Oh, yeah.
They are
they're hot.
Warm.
A little warm.
Losing weight in the ears. A little sweatshop.
I mean, I'm wearing a pair right now, and I like them.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Get
come
Bronco
on,
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Broncos.
But since we started off last week this way, we might as well start it off again.
Okay.
At the gas station.
Yeah.
I was one of 4 customers in there.
Okay.
I was the only one not wearing a wife beater.
Huh.
And I came here from work.
Yeah.
So I'm dirty. I was working on drainage.
Were you
and
the
stuff.
cleanest one as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt classy. Hey, I've got a shirt with buttons on it. Doesn't have a collar.
Yeah,
it's a Henley, but I got buttons. But
I don't know when the wife beater became a fashion statement,
like an appropriate thing to just wear.
Just wear. Like I feel I'll wear a cutoff into the gas station, and I feel like it's not right. You know what I mean? Like you should have sleeves on when you go to the gas station or anywhere. Like I wore one to cut off to Walmart one time, and I was like, I feel like I'm naked. Like I feel like people are like staring at me. They're not the best cutoffs. Like my nipple will hang out a little bit, and like yeah.
Like when you showed up to work in it that one time.
Yeah, I got yelled at.
It's like, hey man, maybe no on the cutoffs. Then we came to it's got to be hemmed.
Yeah, the weekend just got to be hemmed.
Yours was more for the fact of every time you move, your nipple popped out of the side of it.
Okay, I get it. They're not freshly made. Plus, it was like 110 that day.
I understand.
I know it's a classy place. All right, my fault.
The golfer's like, hey, guy was scratching his back on a tree over there, and I could see his nipples.
I wore a
Might
t-shirt.
Want to say something.
I wore a t-shirt that day where those golfers were cool with it. Okay, they laughed.
I would have laughed if I seen it. It's always funny. Sometimes you gotta
hitch.
You gotta hitch.
I can't reach my back.
I understand.
I can't bend. My arms don't bend that way.
Bendy.
Yeah, too wide.
Not all bend. Too wide to be bendy. All right, I'm gonna start this off a little different.
Okay.
Because we had a request of a topic from a gentleman named Brian.
Oh, okay.
About talking about the Tyson Jones Jr. fight.
Gotcha.
So I was doing a little research on it.
Mm-hmm.
The number of rounds is 8.
Yeah.
8 3-minute round. It's going to be 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Just like normal. Mm-hmm. It's an exhibition.
Yeah.
Normally in the boxing world, the word exhibition means headgear.
Oh, okay.
That's
so there's not going to be a knockout.
Right. Well, I mean, they're not going to wear the headgear.
They're not going to wear the headgear. Okay, they're too proud.
But just to let everybody know, that's kind of the way it works. Is amateur boxers wear headgear.
Mm-hmm.
Professional boxers, if it's called an exhibition, usually means headgear.
Okay.
But it also means they're probably going to go with like 12-ounce gloves.
All right.
Which is close. I mean, usually, they might spar with 16-ounce fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
So, because 8 ounce is kind of normal.
Yeah.
On the fight side.
Yeah, I knew that.
And then the thought process of the cost of the thing.
Okay.
$49.
Yeah, I did see the price was ridiculous.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
How many people are going to watch that?
People will. That's the bad part.
But not many.
Not many. Not as many as they think that this is going to bring in.
I mean, Mike Tyson sells an event.
Mm-hmm.
That's just because he's Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
it's not like Roy Jones Jr. is a slouch.
No.
Yeah.
No, but he's not Mike Tyson.
He's not Mike Tyson. I get it. Yes.
But it's the. I don't know. Since Floyd, it's not in it. Because it's always. Two people could sell a pay-per-view. That was always kind of... It was Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, yeah,
De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And Floyd Mayweather. Because this is post-Tyson era. Because after 92, Tyson didn't sell many pay-per-views.
Yeah. Well, Oscar and Floyd, they fought a lot, right? Yeah. They fought each other a lot.
And I don't think the boxing world's knowledge of... Like, the pay-per-view model's just dead.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this before with the UFC. A loaded fight card. Now, we're not talking, a couple weeks, DC and Stipe 3. That's probably going to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not Masvidal or Conor or Khabib, but it's just a loaded card, I mean, top to bottom loaded, it might get 500,000 buys at best.
Mm-hmm.
It's just millions, cracking a million. That's Masvidal. That's Conor. That's, maybe they get 100,000 buys.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean.
I know it's not going to be much, but people are going to watch it, which is, I'm not going to pay the $50 to watch two, older gentlemen fight for an exhibition. I don't know. I don't see the point in doing it other than the fact that Tyson has very social media-esque got back in shape and people want to see him fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because there was all that big thing if he lost all this weight and he got back to training and stuff. And he hasn't fought since when?
2008?
Okay.
6? Somewhere in there? Maybe before that.
I thought it was before that.
Maybe 2004. It was in the 2000s.
Roy Jones Jr. fought in like 2012 or something like that?
Roy Jones Jr. fought like last year.
Oh, last year. Okay, gotcha.
I'm not so sure Roy Jones Jr. didn't just win a belt not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Like, cruiserweight. Nobody fights in cruiserweight.
Yeah.
I mean.
Okay. So he's still fighting.
He's active.
He's active. Okay.
Like, he's an active fighter.
Gotcha.
I mean.
Gotcha.
Now, he got knocked out when he was in Russia. I mean, it's just, it's not, he's 50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Don't take hits as well when you get older. I mean, that's just the thing.
Yeah, so and now coming to this with this thought process. This is a report they get kind of from Andy Foster, who's the State Athletic Commission.
Okay.
Because it's in California.
Yeah.
Tyson Jones' fight will be an exhibition bout with bigger gloves, perhaps 12 ounces. They met with Andy Foster on a Zoom recently. They aren't going to try for KOs. September 12th is a Dignity Health Sports Park.
Okay. So they're boxing for fun then, as the exhibition you would say.
It's
Is
of
it
course,
for a charity?
They've talked like they're going to knock each other out.
Yeah.
And then this is back to Andy Foster. I wanted to have their assurance that they would understand. I don't care if they spar. I don't care if they work. They're world-class athletes even still.
Mm-hmm.
They have the right to earn and all these type of things. They're about the same age. We can't mislead the public as to what kind of real fight.
Yeah.
They can get into it a little bit. I don't want people getting hurt. They know the deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exhibition. They can exhibit their boxing skills, but don't want them doing their best efforts to hurt each other. They're going to spar hard, but they shouldn't be going for knockouts. This isn't a record book type fight. This is not a world championship boxing match right now. It's not what it is. People shouldn't be getting knocked out. The public can see what kind of shape Roy and Mike are still in.
Okay.
So, I mean, with that being said, now they're saying they're going to go for knockouts. And from what I've heard being an exhibition, and I know there's lines and stuff in Vegas, I don't even think they're going to have, I don't even know that there's judges.
Oh.
Because it's an exhibition. It's not a fight.
It's not a fight.
It doesn't matter who fucking wins.
Exactly.
So if they're not going to sanction it as a real fight, are they going to have judges?
Yeah,
if they don't have judges, how can you bet on the fight? Has to be a knockout, which they say
is not going
to happen, even though Roy and them say they're going to. Which is just to sell the fight.
Yes.
Because both of them are like, the reason the two of those guys do it with each other is because they both know how good they are.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's touch each other up. But now, can it always get out of hand?
For sure.
Yeah, somebody comes in a little hard.
Yeah, somebody thinks that they're...
But originally, I'd heard Foster said that the ref was going to be there to stop it.
Oh, okay.
If it starts getting hard,
done.
We're going to stop it.
Nobody wants to be that practice squad hero there.
Yeah. Well, that's gym hero, man. Mm-hmm. Every time you hear it in the UFC all the time. Yeah, you got the champ sparring before his match, and then some up and comer wants, I'm going to be the one that takes him down.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you hit him and you cut him over his eye.
Yeah.
And he fights in 2 weeks. He's fucked.
Dumbass.
I mean, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of, they won't be getting my money.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get my money for it to watch
I have no problem buying pay-per-views. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it
doesn't interest me at all.
No.
Boxing doesn't really interest me anymore because there's just better fighting.
Because it's terrible.
Yeah.
There's like 3 fighters. They charge like, like Mayweather's thing. It's $89. You want it in high def, it's $99.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what?
Hey, it's 2020. Everything's in high def. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But it's just, and they never fight each other. The top-rated guys never, they just kind of weave their way through.
Mm-hmm. The only time where you could say top people fight each other was with
Fury and Wilder.
That's really the...
And then they got a rematch, and then Fury signed with Anthony Joshua twice.
Yeah. So, that's really the only time you see best on best.
I think they're starting to realize that
Yeah.
Hey, this pay-per-view model's dying. Canelo got all that money from DAZN, which is almost bankrupt. Actually, Canelo's got another fight, and they're trying to renegotiate his money down.
Oh, okay.
Because you just can't pay a guy $350 million and think that people are going to... their coverage sucks.
Exactly.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
their promoting sucks, too, because other than when they first announced it, I haven't heard a damn thing about the Tyson-Jones fight since then.
Right.
There's no media to it because boxing is a dying sport.
Yeah. And at the bottom line with that, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It's a shit show fight that I don't care about.
Uh-huh.
There's... You want to see if 250-year-olds can move good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
Watch their training videos.
Yeah. Well, Tyson looked great. He's hitting mitts.
Yeah,
He's hit mitts his whole life.
Uh-huh.
Of course he's going to look good. It's not. So if he looks really good, is he going to, fight Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
I didn't realize that because they put their stats beside each other, height, weight, and everything.
Right.
I didn't realize Tyson was that short.
He is not at his best, at his prime. He's not 6 foot. He's
like 5'8" or 5'9".
For a heavyweight,
he
was 210.
Yeah, I know.
He's not. He's just not big.
No, that's why when they did the height, I was like,
when you look at a Tyson Fury at 6'8", 240, 260.
Yeah.
Even Wilder at 6'7", but he's for the first Fury fight.
Yeah.
He was 209 on fight day, which is that's cruiserweight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just, when they did that, I was like, fuck, Tyson's only 5'8". When he was in the movies and stuff, they must do a good job obviously they want to make him look like, fucking Mike Tyson. But
Tom Cruise looks normal size.
Exactly.
He's like 5'6".
Yeah, I know. But still, though, I'm just like, wow, 5'8", really?
I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't want to use the word purist or whatever, but I got no time for these shit show fights. Like the Paul brothers and stuff fighting these YouTube guys fighting, and I don't care. I understand there's a market for it. You guys they have massive followings and all the I get it. There's a place for it, just not me.
Well, when I watch a fight, I want to watch fighters fight. I don't want to watch just people who think they can fight do it again.
I'll tell you one thing, too, with the boxing. As far as pay-per-view models being dead, I think everybody can admit to that.
Yeah.
And the one thing with boxing is, like with a UFC card, you talk about a stacked card.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good fights. Mm-hmm. With boxing, you got a main event, and then there's 7-8 other fights that are just garbage. Nobody's heard of these people.
Exactly.
That's why you see, like what you'd call in a UFC, a co-main, the fight before the big fight, there's still nobody in the crowd.
Yeah, I know.
Because they know that it's not worth getting there.
Yeah.
They show up for the one fight.
Exactly.
And I think, boxing they need to get away from having like 9 different title belts.
Yeah.
Just merge shit together. Uh-huh. Hey, if you're number 1, you're fighting number 2.
Yeah.
You're fighting somebody in the top 5.
Something.
I mean.
Yeah. It's a dying sport really since Mayweather. That's really
he's the only one that's made any money.
Exactly.
Pacquiao, he doesn't really sell. No. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Canelo's phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't
know how much he's moving the needle on pay-per-view sales.
I don't know. To me, is it impressive to box? Yeah, it's impressive.
Absolutely.
It's impressive to box. It's to me, it's more impressive to watch the guys do the UFC stuff.
Right.
More of, there's always technical stuff in boxing with the jabs and in your stance and everything like that. But when you go to UFC, you got people taking people down. You got all this other stuff that, it's exciting. Boxing people, like we talked last week, sometimes they just take rounds off.
Yeah. It's too long. I think 8 rounds, I think the one thing you would see from this fight, 8 rounds. That's enough.
Uh-huh.
You can have a championship fight in 8 rounds.
Yeah.
24 minutes.
It's plenty.
Go
after each other.
Take a round off.
Yeah.
Maybe
if you can stand it. Maybe if you knocked him down 3 times in the other rounds.
Because let's be real honest, there's not many knockdown dragouts that it takes a 12th round to decide. Mm-hmm. Usually by round 8, you kind of know who's winning.
Uh-huh.
Nobody
wants to watch those last 4 rounds anyway because they're tired.
Usually,
yeah, they're just leaning on each other and swinging for the fences and they miss. It's not anything good to watch.
Which that does bring up talking about shit show fights of wasn't that Jake Paul was supposed to fight Nate Robinson?
Yeah, and then
didn't Jake just get raided by the FBI?
Yeah, because he's storing shitload of guns.
Yeah, and it was something to do with he was part of
the raiding and stuff in Atlanta or whatever.
Looting,
or Atlanta, California, one of those, where the hell he's at.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing looting? Because they showed his house, what are you doing looting, man?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you doing that? And they showed videos of him with the looters. Now, they didn't have video of him looting, but they had him with the group of people who are going into shops. And
well, that was the thing
and he said it was for vlog purposes.
All well and good.
Yeah.
But it caused because usually the FBI doesn't miss.
Yeah.
And this was an FBI thing.
Uh-huh.
And, the helicopter footage, you could see some still shots. They talked about the gun leaning against the hot dog. Looked like there was a suppressor on that.
Yeah.
Which is not legal in this country at all.
Not at all.
I'm not so sure it's not a felony just to have one.
Yeah. And automatic rifles.
Yeah.
Not the semi-automatics that are okay. Or whatever you want to call it, okay. But yeah, they had the full automatic rifles, all kinds of shit that he's just storing in his house.
Yeah. Which that was always a weird thing too with me, like the suppressor, because everybody they think movies that it's a silencer.
Yeah.
Then it just goes.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's not.
No.
It muffles it a little bit, but it's still loud as shit.
Exactly. It's still a gun.
And actually, and it's they make it illegal, because of the movie thing. It's Hitman.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to say in other countries that where they rifle hunt,
mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure they don't require you to use a suppressor because it's considered just being neighborly. Hey,
yeah,
maybe not banging loud as shit. So that should unfold a little bit for this guy.
Yeah, it should. He's in some deep shit.
Yeah, because we found out with our sheriff, the FBI doesn't miss when they come
exactly.
when they come a knocking.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yep. When you see them, they pretty much got her locked up.
Yeah.
So, roundabout way, boxing, like I'm the one I could say, obviously I like Canelo and Triple G
mm-hmm.
but Vasily Lomachenko, is probably the best to watch.
Yeah,
and he's on, Top Rank, ESPN has him. So I'll watch those when he comes on.
Yeah.
But I'm not, and I'm a big fan of his. I'm not buying a pay-per-view to watch him fight.
Yeah.
Though.
It's...
At the end of the day, you're a 145er, man. Not happening. Yeah. That's just kind of the way of the world. I mean, Floyd and Oscar were such anomalies, the fact that they could move pay-per-view numbers, and they were small guys.
Yeah.
It's usually just not that way.
No, everybody wants to watch the heavyweight, with the big heavy hitters and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, there you go. So there's your boxing bout. They will not be getting my money because
I don't care.
It's a shit show, and if somebody gets knocked out, they get knocked out, but it doesn't sound like they're even going to.
Yeah, it just seems like they're just going to spar with each other and have fun because that's what it's about.
Yeah. And make $10 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay,
yeah.
I'm all for it.
I don't get knocked out and I still get $10 million. For sure, I'm doing it.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, you have so many times you can get wobbled to the head.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe pump the brakes and right off into the sunset.
Yep.
Tyson has his ranch. Sell your weed.
Yep. Do whatever you need to do.
Roy's phenomenal at broadcasting fights. I mean, take a couple more of them shots, man. You might not be able to do that anymore.
For sure, especially a fucking haymaker from Tyson.
Yeah.
I mean, those, even though he's hitting the pad and those, still, these got to come hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they've been punched with a boxing glove on in the face as hard as they can, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying he's going to get knocked out, but hitting the head a couple times.
Yeah, does he hit hard? Not compared to what a boxer hits.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of like, I mean, Deontay Wilder hits fucking hard.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou hits fucking hard.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. In the 80s. In the 90s.
Yeah.
Early 2000, kind of bowing out. But,
I think Roy Jones Jr. wear headgear for his ears.
Cauliflower.
No, Tyson bites ears off.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. See, that's been so long ago. I forgot about that.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he had a right to do so because I think it's pretty much admitted.
Yeah.
And we'll say allegedly.
Okay.
That Evander Holyfield was on all of the steroids in his title run of just all of them.
Yeah.
You put that in that horse, give it to me. That is kind of the way it's talked.
Okay.
So maybe,
had it coming.
It's the only place he could hurt him.
Yeah.
I never thought about sticking the needle in my ear.
Okay.
Yeah. So, other sporting news. They released the Big Ten's football schedule.
Yes, they did.
Bumped it around a little bit.
Yeah. It was a draw. It was a drawing of who was playing who because everybody's bitching that Ohio State has an easy draw because they don't have Wisconsin or Minnesota or anything like that.
But is that how they actually did it?
I believe so.
Is what they pick up Purdue and Iowa? Oh, you mean the teams? The teams that
usually knock them off. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when's the last time Wisconsin beat Ohio?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. When's the last time Minnesota's beat Ohio State?
Yeah.
I mean, so people were, there was a big to-do on social media of, they just gave Ohio State the easiest schedule. And I'm thinking, well, Purdue beat us 2 years ago. Iowa beat us 3 years ago. I mean, it's not like it's a shock thing.
Let's be real honest. Unless Ohio State steps on their dick, who in the Big Ten can...
Exactly.
I mean, really.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's upsetting to me, this next portion, obviously being an Ohio State fan. I don't like the October.
Yeah, me either.
But you have inside information.
Yeah, that the October 24th game with Michigan was scheduled that way in case there is a shutdown of the season. And then the last week is on the schedule says open to move that game to the last game of the regular season as it would be supposed to.
Basically, technically, they have 2 dates for that game.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if we have a mid-season shutdown, they can bump that game to the end.
Pretty much
and
to make sure
if there was, a late season shutdown, they would have already
played it. Exactly what I was told. So there was a plan behind it. It wasn't just a thing to piss everybody off and interrupt 40 some years of history, but 50 however many years it's been. But
well, I think now that happens, being in October, it's got to be a night game.
Yeah,
they've never had a night game
exactly.
Because I think the Big Ten still has that rule. Once it hits November, 3:30 is the latest they go.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to do it, if you're going to change up it anyway, you might as well go to a night game. It's just fun to play. Yeah. It's just fun to watch under the lights.
You know?
I mean, yeah, it's.
I like to have a build, that nervous build up for the day.
Exactly. Because it's a rivalry game, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's that anticipation always. But
because to me, really, noon is too quick of a start.
Yeah. There's no build up.
Well, and usually I'm still working on Saturdays, so it's just like, okay, I get done, go watch. 3:30 is always a good time.
Yeah.
Get a little lunch. Get a little,
Yep. Yeah, but I like those. Those night games are fun. They are. They really are. So hopefully they can move that to a night game and everybody can enjoy it.
The bit of controversy that if you read into the reports on the conference call.
Yes, I did read into those.
Basically on the conference call. Now, I wish the story was 100% true, but it's not.
Yeah.
The last statement did get said, but it was more in a team meeting.
It was a team meeting.
It was not to but basically,
Harbaugh himself.
Jim Harbaugh, as he normally does, he called Ryan Day a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently there was a picture of a coach on a field. And
yes, and they're not supposed to be on a field or with players on the field or something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So he called him a cheater, as he does to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Calls basically his go-to move is teams he can't beat, all the SEC and Ohio State.
Cheaters.
He calls them cheaters.
Yes.
Try to win a game. But first report is that Ryan Day rebutted back. Well, first of all, I think he did say, why don't you worry about your own team?
Yeah, he did say that as the call was going on.
They said that the rest of the statement was on the call, but it was not. It was in a team meeting where Ryan Day said, they better have the Big Ten better put a mercy rule in because we're going to hang 100 on them this year.
Yes. So he's a little fired up by those accusations, which he might as well should be. Why wouldn't he be
and
fired up?
And if you're Jim Harbaugh, why would you say that?
Yeah, you've gotten your ass kicked the last 2 years. Yeah. Not just a beat. You've had your ass kicked the last 2 years.
Your best team that you've had the year you were 100% supposed to beat Ohio State because they weren't.
Yes.
They just weren't good.
No.
And they hung like 70 on you.
Yeah.
I mean.
So calm down with the accusations and shit. And for sure, who gives a fuck? You don't see any of the other teams in the Big Ten saying shit.
Right.
It's just you. Wisconsin has the same exact should feel the same way you do. They haven't beaten Ohio State in a long time, and they usually get beat by them twice a year.
Right.
Because of the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's you have no room to talk whether you're just pissed off because you can't beat Ohio State.
And it can't beat anybody. And it's I thought about this the other day, and it kind of a long thought process. And I don't know about how long I spent on it, but I was just kind of thinking about it. I don't think Jim Harbaugh's a bad coach. I really don't.
No, I don't
think
either.
He's a bad recruiter.
Yeah.
Which in college football
means
is
everything.
I mean,
yeah.
And he was a little late to the party, but now trying to get the offense opened up like everybody else did. I mean, Nick Saban did it.
Yeah, exactly.
And this being on Alabama. Sorry.
Okay.
Almost died there. Alabama 100% could still line up the way they used to run the football and beat they just could.
They just could.
But that's just not the way the game's played anymore. And once they got, Jalen was a runner and then Tua comes along.
Yeah.
I mean,
they opened it up a little bit. They evolved with the game.
Right. But I mean, if they went in, if I seen them come out with the tailback under center, okay, they're going to win because usually they have the best offensive lineman.
Yep.
They always have a stud running back. And then you creep forward and they play action you and throw an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
that's
usually they get decent receivers typically too.
And then the way I figure it as you're recruiting, and we'll just keep using Alabama because they had so many wide receivers drafted this last year. They have 3 NFL wide receivers.
Yeah.
For the most part, and SEC's got great defenses. But what's the most NFL defensive backs on one team that they're going against? 2?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's top. So then you still got one guy. So, 3 seconds is kind of the standard for the ball getting out anymore.
Yep.
Then you get a guy like Tua that can extend it to 4. And then for the most part, when he breaks contain, it's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got 3 NFL receivers,
and
you can't ask a guy that's not next level talent to
do that.
Guard a guy for 5 seconds. You just fucking can't.
No.
That's why he's open by 30 yards.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
And that's where that comes in with the Harbaugh thing of they don't really have any.
No.
They don't have any NFL. I mean, they have NFL players.
Yes.
But not
studs.
But not.
No, they don't. I mean, I can't remember the last time a Michigan skill player was taken in the first round.
I mean, the one they
like he's usually an offensive or a defensive lineman, maybe a linebacker, right. Somewhere of those things, which they recruit those well.
Yeah.
But you don't usually see a DB, maybe Peppers might have been the last one, but a receiver. The last one I can think of is like Braylon Edwards in the draft in the first round.
Right.
Or Mario Manningham. Those guys would be really the last ones I can remember.
And that's, I mean, you gotta recruit defense. You gotta have that. But we can just go off of this with like Ohio State. Ohio State's defense last year was very good.
Yeah.
Very good. How many did Clemson put up? 30. What was the final? They scored in the 30s, right?
Yeah, it was in the 30s.
38, 34
something
or some
like
shit
that,
like that. With a top flight defense, a team scores 38 points. That's college football.
Yeah.
So you can be really great at linebackers and stuff, but if you can't get any skill position, he's still never gotten a quarterback.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be this quarterback, whisperer.
And the one receiver that they had that was, everybody said he's NFL height, NFL speed, NFL route running. One thing, can't catch the fucking ball.
Yeah, I know.
So, that's a problem. I mean.
Yeah, and he just hasn't evolved yet. His offensive scheme, mind, whatever you want to call it, has not evolved. And he's gone through, I think he may be on his like second or third coordinator in the years he's been there.
Right.
To like, okay, yes, if something works out, I believe in if, try it once, okay, no, try it again, okay, no, okay, it's time to move on.
Right.
But you've had this many offensive coordinators and you haven't changed your scheme. You still hold a fullback. I can't tell you how many college football teams actually have a fullback.
No.
You do.
How many NFL teams have one?
Exactly.
One?
They use like their third tight end.
Yeah.
If they're going to do it. I mean, come on. It's something where you haven't evolved. Even when they had Shea Patterson, who was an athletic quarterback, they didn't evolve it. They were still going under center and all that stuff, which is fine for packages, but not all the time. It's very easy to defend that. There's not a whole lot of deception. There's not a whole lot of anything when you're going under center like that.
That was always my thing with the whole Shea Patterson thing, because everybody was so excited when he was going to Miss. They got their quarterback now. It was like, where was he? A&M?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. The knock on him coming out of Ole Miss is he can't protect the football.
Yeah.
He turns it over. So he wasn't good enough to play at Ole Miss, but he's Michigan's future.
Yes.
And in every game that mattered, what happened?
He always had
he fumbles the ball, he throws one pick, minimum one fumble.
Yep.
He fumbled a lot. Like
not like the snap. Like
did you guys not? I know he only played like 6-7 games down there, but did you not watch any of them?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
and I would like to say personally, I would like to say Michigan's a better football team than Ole Miss. And when he can't make it down there, what makes you think that you're going to get your hands on him and be okay with it?
That's one thing I don't understand. What is this going to be, year 6?
Something like that, yeah.
I couldn't even tell you who their starting quarterback is.
I know.
I mean,
I know that they have one of the younger McCaffreys on their team as a quarterback, which
but he's
I don't know anything about him.
He's a slasher, kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you never really got to. I mean, you see him throw a couple times, but he always came in and it was
yeah. But that's really the only option. That's the only quarterback I know of that's on the roster. I mean,
which is a weird thing of like, you're the University of Michigan. You're supposedly a quarterback guru for some reason. I don't know
I'm
why.
Not sure. Because he coached
Andrew Luck.
Well, that's it.
Well, okay. I mean, he was Andrew Luck, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
the one thing that gets me about Harbaugh is when he went to the NFL. He did have success with the Niners. He did.
Yeah, absolutely.
He went to the playoffs or went to the Super Bowl. And with 2 different quarterbacks, he had success with Alex Smith, running the West Coast kind of thing. And then when you get Kaepernick, you run the read option in the NFL.
Yeah.
You rarely see them run the read option
and go to the Super Bowl.
With it, but you rarely
think he calls
see them now.
His brother a cheater since he beat him?
Probably, yeah. Cheating bastard. Thanksgivings there probably have to suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but seriously though, in the NFL where it's unheard of to do it, which, okay, I get it. If you can do it, that's fine. But now in college football, where it's a standard, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing it, it's half-assed or some other.
I would imagine he has a thought, well, everybody got fast, so they're planning on something this, so we're going to be bigger and we can run it down their throat. Now, those fast athletic guys
still pretty big.
Can still do that.
Yeah, exactly. Which, that's just my thing with him. And I want Michigan to be good because it just makes that rivalry game even better.
It makes the Big Ten better.
Exactly.
I mean.
And, he has to evolve. Like, Wisconsin hasn't evolved yet. And that's why they get beat a lot. They haven't had a quarterback in a long time. This actually, the guy that there's now is probably their best quarterback in the last 5-6 years.
Well, probably since Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, exactly. Russell
Wilson. That's how I refer to him. I don't really like Russ.
But still,
I don't know why.
But they win games. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
The teams they don't, that's why. Because
they're not supposed to beat Ohio State.
No, because they run the same goddamn belly play for 30 fucking times. All right, I wonder what they're going to run on 1st and 10. Yeah,
that's and the only times you've seen them have a success against an Ohio State is, you got a running back that pushes, pushing that 2,000-yard mark every year. Well, you get him a little bit of success, and then they beat you over the top once, and then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's
like for the most part, their big-time running backs rush for about 40 yards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Big Ten championship game was the last time that Wisconsin actually looked decent throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Other than that, they haven't really looked good.
It's just a shame. The Big Ten is so bad.
Yeah. And all the people who debate, the Big Ten's and the SEC. No, the SEC's way better than the Big Ten. Way better. And the way that I'd like to look at it, and, a buddy had put this light on me. So you take the two worst teams in those conferences.
Yeah.
Who would win? The SEC's team would win.
Absolutely. Because Rutgers
fucking
I don't know.
Sucks.
I mean, Rutgers can't win Big Ten games. They have won some out-of-conference games.
But seriously, though, which is a great way to look at it, in my opinion. You take their two worst teams, which you have Rutgers, maybe Arkansas, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somewhere of those along those lines. Arkansas is still going to beat those guys. That's why their conference is better. You get your two worst ones, they go against each other, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, because for the most part, and it's not even this way anymore. It used to be, a few years ago of the top 2 or 3 were comparable.
Yeah.
Now you have like Ohio State, Alabama. It's a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coin flip game.
Yeah, it is.
And, Ohio State, LSU, well, we'll see what LSU does, or Georgia. They're coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
But, you go to that second place. Well, those 3 teams, all of them are beating Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all beating Michigan.
Uh-huh.
They're all beating Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
exactly.
There's nothing there.
No. Yeah, and so the people who say that the Big Ten is better, I'm just like, it's not. It's really not. And I'm a Big Ten fan. I want them to be good just for that fact.
I mean, the only thing the Big Ten is there's an argument that most years they have an argument that maybe they have the best team.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just like the SEC does with Alabama.
Yeah.
And Georgia the last couple of years. I'm going to be interested in what happens with Georgia now.
Me too, yeah.
See where they go.
Yeah.
I don't know about LSU.
That's an interesting thing because Joe Burrow was Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
his first year there was not very good. He got better. Obviously got better. I don't believe Coach O is that good of a coach to stay there. Don't get me wrong, the people like him, and I like him. I mean, he's a seems like a fun guy to be around. I like to listen to him talk. I can't understand him.
I think he'll get players.
Yes,
because he's that guy.
He's that guy. Everybody wants to go play for him.
I mean, what was his quote last week? You can call us at midnight and we'll play in a field tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Why wouldn't you want to play for that guy?
Exactly. I mean, he says shit like that.
Top tier coach?
No, he's not.
He's just not.
He's not.
And you had Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now we get to see who's next.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow went to the NFL. Well, how do you replace him? I don't know. Alabama, Ohio State, they all fucking seem to do it.
They seem to do it. Mean, yeah, exactly. So how are you going to be in that?
Yeah, that's
put
the
up
next.
With that. If you're going to want to be up there with, Dabo and Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, Saban, all those guys, you got to be able to replenish what left.
And my guess would have been if it was like a regular year, because I don't know what the SEC's actual schedule is.
Yeah.
I don't know that they've released.
I don't think they have.
if it was a regular year, you would, if they set the over under at 9.5,
I'd go under
for LSU. I don't see them winning 10 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't either.
That's and anymore a national championship by about 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You got next year and the year after.
Yep.
And then they're going to start talking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Ask Les Miles how that goes.
Exactly. Les Miles was a god down there for how many years, and then you had a couple years where you were ass, and you're done.
Well, he's a guy that just fell from which he just got. He got timed out of football.
He did. He didn't evolve.
Defense and run the ball. Hey, man.
Not there anymore.
College football. You just recruit better athletes.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is he had better athletes than everybody.
Oh, yeah. He had Odell and Jarvis Landry on the same fucking team.
Keep having these first-round draft picks at wide receiver, yet you throw for 600 yards a year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not real good.
But, yeah, it's an interesting thing with down. There's just no way that the Big Ten is more comparable to the ACC.
Yeah, it is.
Now, teams 2, 3, and 4 in the Big Ten are better than ACC. It just is.
But you're comparable
but historically. It's kind of that.
You are, because you have one dominant, and then you have the us are trying to beat that one dominant. Right. I mean, you can say that about Clemson and Ohio State. They're SEC teams that play in different conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they recruit,
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, they are. Urban Meyer took how he recruited at Florida and brought it to a Big Ten school.
Yep.
And that's just the way it happened. I mean, Dabo pretty much did the same thing.
Right.
He took how they did it, and they recruited their linemen from different places, but they recruited SEC speed. And that's how they win.
Yep. That's probably the best way to put it. Clemson and Ohio State are SEC teams that just aren't in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, they're in conferences that aren't.
Exactly.
But, I mean, ACC-wise, ACC doesn't have a Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't.
No.
Because Miami and Florida State, they can't get it together. And I don't understand why.
Florida State has fell off tremendous since Winston left.
Yeah.
And even the Francois guy wasn't a bad quarterback. You just couldn't fucking protect him.
No, he got
murdered a lot. And I felt bad for the guy. I was like, you're not a bad quarterback.
That was always a weird thing for me of like Dabo leaving the Florida State, which is such a big job, Florida State. I mean, I guess I wouldn't put them they're not in the blue blood category.
No.
They were a legendary head coach, Ed Bowden.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you take over and you win a national championship. 2 years later, you leave for Texas A&M.
Yeah, I know.
Which is just
horseshit. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't get that either, but
yeah, I just never understood the Texas A&M move.
Uh-huh.
Well, Texas, they can recruit. Well, Texas does a good job, and Alabama does a good job recruiting Texas, and Ohio State does a good job recruiting Texas. So does Clemson.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you're not keeping your in-state kids.
I always like how they say that. Well, you got to keep your kids here.
Well, the other teams do a better job.
Yeah, I mean,
Texas can't get their top-tier kids in Texas.
USC got out-recruited in California by Oregon.
I know. Crazy.
Fucking USC.
Yes.
I mean,
that's a blue blood school.
You are a blue blood.
Exactly. And you're getting out-recruited by fucking Oregon.
I'm so for, as we talked about, like the SEC and, everybody's got some teams. If there was ever a time, this year was a time to branch off and break away from the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Just get your 30, 40 schools and go, hey, we're going to do our own thing.
Yeah.
Because really, you guys aren't on our level.
Mm-hmm. No,
I mean, you're just not.
Yeah. You could easily do that. And you're right, this would be a great year to do it.
And I say 40 just so you have some parity of schedules. Because really, it's only 10.
Probably.
I mean,
honestly,
it's only really 10 teams that can realistically win a national championship.
Yeah.
This is just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I mean, it'd be fun to watch that happen.
Yeah, so, I mean,
it would be fun to watch that happen, and how I would want to see the NCAA reaction. Okay. Are they going to try to meet those standards? Or are they just going to say, go ahead and go? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to try to,
no, the NCAA,
they're a bunch
they're never going to do anything proper.
No, they're not, because they're a bunch of dumbasses.
I'd like to see something like that we've already talked about that. It needs to be 8 games. Obviously, the COVID year that we're having, I mean, all that's out the window. But it needs to be 8 teams in the playoff because I get there's too much emphasis in college football that you have to be undefeated.
Yeah, I know.
Just too much. Mm-hmm. First of all, you don't pay the kids already. And now you want to put all this pressure on them. You call them student athletes, but you don't really let them take the classes they want to take because it interferes with the football program. And then you put on this pressure. Like, you can't lose a fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now, you can, like Ohio State can. Clemson can lose a game.
Yeah.
Alabama, Georgia, they can lose.
Anybody else cannot.
Yeah, if you're in the Pac-12, you lose a game, it's over.
Yeah.
Your season is over at one loss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Oklahoma, if they get beat, season's over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they're probably one of the ones that can lose one.
Maybe.
Just
depends on the year and who they lose
and
to.
who they lose to.
And it depends on if they lose to Texas and then beat Texas in the...
Yes, the conference championship.
They like that. They avenge their loss.
Yeah, I don't know why they like that either.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. You still lost a game.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
You're not undefeated once you pre-beat them. I mean, you still lost to them. Yeah, I don't get the avenged game either.
I just think you're talking to 18 to 22-year-old kids, you got to give them one.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give them one.
And if we're going to have a whole college football season this year, the one's definitely not getting you in.
No.
Even if it's all conference, because you're screwed.
Yeah.
You have 8 games, right? Was it 8 games that they said they're doing? 8 games or 10 games?
I think it's 10.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Because it was originally, like the Big Ten schedule, they went to, a couple years ago, they played 9 conference games, and they added some crossovers, so it's got to be 10.
Yeah. So you had 10 games. Okay, that's fine. 9-1 may not get you in.
Probably not.
Especially if that one loss is to an Iowa or a Purdue. That's probably not getting you in.
Yeah. 9-1 probably get you in if you're Ohio State. 9-1 and you beat Ohio State and you're Michigan, probably not going to get you in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just an honest thing.
Mm-hmm.
If there's the other teams are out there.
Yeah.
If there's if it was a undefeated Alabama and a one-loss Georgia team and Georgia's only loss was to Alabama by 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, one-loss Big Ten team's not getting in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Because you got to just assume that Clemson's undefeated.
Yeah.
And assume that Oklahoma, has something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is.
In Pac-12, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, you guys start your own, in your own little world out there. Nobody cares.
Playoffs. Yeah. Sorry, Oregon.
I still love that when that came off the schedule and all the Oregon fans was like, man, that sucks because Ohio State was going to get smashed by Oregon. It's like, what?
What made you think that?
Why
yeah.
The fact that, like, whatever the coaches poll came out, I assume Oregon's top 10.
Yeah, they are.
Like, but what?
Yeah, I know. Like, you guys were top 10 last year with your senior quarterback.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah,
not top 10 anymore.
I don't understand what the...
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, we got it this year.
Okay. All right. No, we'll see.
You in Utah?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You guys are the blue blood or the underdog to win it. Yeah.
I think the top 25 came out. Clemson number 1, Ohio State number 2. I think Alabama 3.
Yep.
I think Clemson, Ohio State were the only ones that received first place votes. I think maybe Alabama got 1 or 2, but
something
for the
like
most
that.
part,
Yeah, I know they said Ohio State had like 17.
Yeah.
So obviously Clemson had more than 17.
Whatever. Yeah. That's I always like it's way too early to. I don't like the early. I like to talk about the early rankings because you can feel slighted or you can feel good about your team. And they say, well, they just put this out here, but they don't really matter. But they do because, say, if Ohio State and Oregon were playing, Ohio State beat Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
They get credit for a top 10 win all year, even if Oregon goes 500.
Exactly.
Because that's just the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. And I hate that.
It doesn't make any sense.
I hate it. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's stupid, and I don't know why they do it like that. You could... Texas. LSU got credit for beating a number 5 Texas team.
Texas terrible.
Fucking shit last year. They weren't even ranked in the top 10 last year at the end of the season. Well, they beat them when they were number 5. What?
Preseason rankings.
Exactly. You have preseason rankings. And it was a shootout. It was 45.
Texas, sure Texas could have won that game.
Yeah, it was. They were both in the 40s. I'm like, Jesus, God. don't get me wrong, LSU was definitely number one. I'm not taking anything away from them, but that's not don't count that as a quality win.
Yeah, it's always. Well, they beat this top 25 team. They beat it. Well, they're 6-6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they were 17 when they beat them.
Who cares?
Why?
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing.
Doesn't matter.
I hate that.
That's why I like it to the point of, the criteria of actually getting into a playoff of. We're just going off people's opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
Of who should be ranked before the season starts.
And
again, no spring practice for anybody.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks that haven't played a game. Of who's Alabama's quarterback?
Yeah, I know. Who knows? Yeah, it's to his brother, right?
No, he transferred.
Okay.
Apparently,
you're right. I did see
apparently
that.
was not going to be the starter. So, yeah, I mean, so I don't understand how they come up with that stuff. Now, I get it with Alabama being 3 because fucking Alabama. So they're obviously a top 5 team every year, no matter what. So, yeah, really excited. I hope it happens.
Yeah, that's the one thing. You just sit back and fucking waiting.
Talking about it, the fact that they released a schedule and a top 25 and like kind of some excitement for football came back.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, they still might not play.
Exactly. Yeah. Son of a bitch.
I mean,
sorry.
Don't kick me again.
Sorry.
Yeah. So then you have the, the NFL's in camp now.
Yeah. And the opt-out timeline is over with. There was a total of 69 players that opted out of the season. Some big name players, some not big name players. I mean, they have been catching shit for opting out by social media. I mean, there's been people just shitting on some people for opting out. I'm like, it's their choice.
Well, yeah, why?
I don't know. It's their choice. I don't know. Like, it's people's fans. Like, you love this guy. Oh, he opted out of the season. I fucking hate him. All this shit. Like,
You get paid to play a game.
Yeah.
If I was getting paid, I would play. Well, you're fucking not.
You're not.
You are not an NFL player.
No.
You don't make a living with your body.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure you probably didn't play high school. You know what I mean?
If they don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a thing where they don't feel like the NFL is doing safety precautions, because a lot of people have come out and said that the teams are doing everything in their power to make it as safe as possible.
Well, I know I was reading an article about the Bengals training camp, but they have the bands, the wristbands, that if you get within 6 feet of another wristband, they start going off.
Yep.
Makes it pretty tough to do walkthroughs when you can't.
Imagine the offensive line, you got 6 foot splits. Yeah.
It'd be funny. They should make them play games like that. You got a 6 foot split.
Yeah. The defensive line is
got a wide 4-3 here.
Yeah. The defensive line is 6 foot back from the guys. Oh, that'd be tough.
Yeah, I never understood that on which, you can mostly say Twitter, which really, what is that? Outrage on Twitter. I think, I want to say stats-wise, if you take all the users in this country on Twitter, it breaks down to like 1 of every 50 people are actually on Twitter.
Yeah.
So when it's it's not. It's nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get shit trending with like, few hundred retweets.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's not really trending. Really doesn't matter.
No, it's trending on Twitter. It's not trending everywhere.
But, it's weird, though, because that makes a lot of advertising dollars move in different directions when it's really nobody.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, man, there's a lot of people pissed off. So, okay, 20,000 people are pissed off.
Yeah. Okay, that's nothing.
You sell products to like 50 million people. So 20,000 is nothing.
Nothing.
I always wanted that, like, for, when people start railing on Amazon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Over shit like that. And he never does, but it'd be awesome for Bezos just come out and go, nah.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do?
Exactly.
You buy everything from me.
Exactly.
You going to go back going to the store?
Yeah.
Because that ain't happening. They're all closed.
And they don't carry shit anymore.
Yeah, they don't carry anything.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. But yeah, I mean, the NFL, I feel like if there's a football season, it's the NFL.
Yeah.
I think, because colleges or whatever, because let's just say colleges say they're going online only, you can't expect the players to go. That's just not fair. Just because
they can.
Oh, I get it, but is it really, fair and all that to make?
Well, there's nothing fair about being a student athlete.
No, there's not. But
I'm sorry. About being a football player, student athlete.
Yeah.
Or a basketball at some schools.
Yeah.
If you're a student athlete for baseball, it's probably awesome because you're getting a free education, you got a scholarship, and it's a sport that brings in no money. But football wise, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be the tough one. But yeah, I think there's going to be an NFL season. I mean, whether it's, there's going to be a start of the NFL season, whether it ends up being, postponed or whatever. But
yeah, I think the NFL will be fine. I don't know what percentage I'd put on college football. What they're just starting to do walkthroughs now for mostly everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to put 70% on it.
That they play?
Yeah, that they play.
I'm going to say in another week or so, you're going to really know.
Yeah.
Because if it starts banging through some camps, they're going to shut that shit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say I'm 70. I agree with your 70% that they start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm less than 50% that they finish.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah. That it just, okay. And that even would include they finish the regular season, but we're not having the fucking playoff. I mean,
yeah, you won your conference.
Yeah.
You're good.
I did see some tweets though. There's another one that was kind of trending a little bit, I guess, on the sports topic.
Okay.
Was when they released the schedules, a bunch of Penn State fans can we at least have fans so we can have our whiteout game?
Yeah.
And then the first one was like, hey, you guys are 8-8 in your whiteout games it's not a big deal. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Stop picking Ohio State for that game.
Exactly.
You beat them twice. But
stop doing it.
Stop doing it.
Yeah, it's not.
Maybe do it against Rutgers.
Yeah, do something.
Make sure you can get a win.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's just such a weird thing because I think NFL with no fans, okay. Because just the way their stadiums, they got it figured out.
Yeah.
College football, I mean, that's, Ohio State's, the horseshoe's a little different just kind of the way it's shaped, like Michigan.
Yeah.
That's in a bowl. I mean, that's 110,000 seats.
Yeah.
Of
it's dead.
It's tough. It's going to be tough to catch camera angles that aren't showing a bunch of empty seats at a place like that because there's just seats everywhere.
Exactly.
Of, the NBA's done really good about, zooming in to make it feel, which that's kind of a cool feeling anyways, even though nobody is watching the NBA.
Yeah.
Their ratings are
terrible.
Garbage.
Yeah.
And we don't normally talk about this, but I'm going to say a little bit of is the political thing of it's always something trending about something like that of hey man, some people just want to watch the game.
Exactly. They just want to watch the game.
Maybe stop.
Yeah. So they don't care.
There's an outrage for the one guy that stood up for the national anthem.
Yeah, I know.
So they were coming after that guy.
I know.
All right, well.
Yeah, I mean,
I just watch the game.
Yeah, just watch the game.
But yeah, and maybe that'll change once they get past this bullshit and actually get into a playoff. Because these first 8 games are
stupid.
What are we doing? I know it's to try to get a Zion and shit like that in, but you can obviously tell the Lakers don't care.
Yeah, they just got fucking smoked the other night.
They don't need to.
No, they don't need to.
They're just trying not to get hurt for 8 games.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So maybe that'll change. I think baseball's been. I kind of like baseball with no fans. I like hearing the bat. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the crack and stuff. Basketball wise, I want to hear the F-bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
Tiger, no fans.
Yeah. You can hear that plain as day.
F-bomb all the time.
Yeah.
And he gives zero shits if he's on camera.
Exactly. What else can he do wrong for his image anyway? Yeah. He's already hit that
kind of hit the...
Yeah.
I think you hit rock bottom.
Exactly.
Besides murdering somebody in public.
Yeah.
And I'm saying in public. People have to see you do it. If it's just alleged, I think he'd be okay.
I think he's okay too. He's already...
Yeah, but other than that, you can do whatever you want.
Pretty much, yeah. And not give a fuck.
Well, hell, when he was dating, was it Lindsey Vonn?
Yeah.
And when they broke up, it came out that the reason they broke up is he was unfaithful. I was like, well, no shit.
Yeah.
What? And nobody cared. I think more people were like,
on
her of like, well, what the fuck did you expect?
Yeah. The dude was unfaithful to his wife of how many years?
Way better looking than you, and it cost him $300 million.
Exactly.
You're just his girlfriend. You cost him nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what she thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
He's unfaithful. Yeah, pretty much.
Most golfers.
Yeah.
This is kind of the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, bouncing around city to city, and it's shocking how many girls are women are at PGA Tour events. I mean, and you can see them shooting their shots, and I mean,
well, for sure, they're the quiet paid players.
Yeah,
I mean, what is it? Top almost 150 get paid something, and
you got to make the cut.
You got to make the cut. I get how many people make 80. Okay, so
70 to 80.
If you get last, you're still getting paid.
Yeah,
whether it's any whatever, not much, but you're still making
like
money.
$10,000, but
exactly.
Well, you got to travel there.
Yeah,
that shit's not included. You get that comes out of your pocket.
No, I get that, but still, though, I mean,
yeah. Well, you got to figure top 120 something in the money earnings keep their tour status. $500,000. I mean, you can make $500,000 on tour and lose your job.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
It's
not, I mean, that's why I like to call them the quietly paid people.
Yeah.
Because you don't really, it's not in media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After whoever wins this weekend, you're not going to be all over of how much they made. No, it's just quietly said how much they've made.
Well, I think that was in that boom of the Tiger Woods where it's like, highest paid athlete, Tiger Woods, $85 million. Mm-hmm. Phil Mickelson made 50. And it's
exactly.
Like, everybody's like,
what?
Hold on a second. These guys that walk around in khakis are making tens of millions of dollars a year.
Yeah. They swing sticks at a ball.
Which I'd read a book once. It was called Bud, Sweat, and Tease. It was by Alan Shipnick from Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
It's about Rich Beam, and he followed him around, wanted to write a story about a rookie on tour that made it, through Q school.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be followed him around a year that Rich actually won a tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of and Rich was, liked to party, and I think it's Mark Duplantis was his caddy, and Steve Duplantis, which I think he died a few years ago. He got hit by a car walking across, or a bus.
Oh shit!
But he was a party, like regularly would miss the tee time, and they'd have to pull somebody out to carry the bag.
Yeah.
And he'd come in hungover and then grab the bag on like hole fucking 3. I mean, that was the kind of guy he was.
Yeah.
And, but Rich, when they was interviewing him with this, he just made it on tour. His first official event was at whatever they have out in Hawaii.
Okay.
And he was on the putting green, all the sales reps and everybody around. And he just had a hat on and just a shirt. You know? And I think Titleist or somebody gave him the hat. And then he was dating a teacher at the time.
Okay.
And they were talking 90s here. So that she'd been teaching for a little bit, making $35,000.
Yeah.
And he got like $50,000 to wear that hat for the season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it drove like a wedge in their relationship that she just couldn't wrap her head around the fact that you get paid more to wear a hat than I do to teach children all year. Mm-hmm. Like, well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So,
that's the way it goes.
Yeah. It's that caddy though. Whew.
Sounds like you had a good time, huh?
Oh, yeah. There was one, and I'd read that this was in, used to be called Golf Week.
Okay.
Well, I think it still exists, but they used to have a little section called the Four Caddy, and he was just a guy that was kind of on tour.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
he'd just write articles about shit. And he was in the tour truck, or like a Titleist, one of the club maker is kind of bullshitting. And Duplantis walks in to get some clothing.
Okay.
Because you could make the assumption that he was hungover.
Yeah.
He locked himself out of his room. He was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a towel. All he had. And he's trying to get some clothes because he couldn't get back in the room, so he's trying to get some
clothes on. That's funny.
Like, That's the guy that I want caddying for me.
Yeah.
Because at least it's a good story when we miss the cut.
Yeah. What are we, about 60 yards out? Fuck, I think we're at 150. What do you think? Yeah. Looks far.
How far do you think this is? I don't know. Kind of your job, man.
Yeah. Kind of your job to tell me. I couldn't tell you. Here's a clip.
That's always it's the secret of, and I'll tell you what, you'd kind of be shocked. You start looking into it, how many tour players are married to women from Columbus that they met at Muirfield.
Okay.
In the Memorial Tournament. It's a decent amount.
Oh, okay.
Well, Jason Day.
Yeah. No, he lives in Columbus though, isn't he now?
Yeah, but he's from Australia.
Yeah, I know he's from Australia.
He married a girl from Columbus that he met
at Muirfield. That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it works.
Yeah, there we go. She shot a shot.
Got him.
Mm-hmm.
And she got ran over by LeBron James sitting courtside at a Cavs game. Had to get taken to the hospital.
Yep, I do remember that now, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
What happens when you're rich? Those are the bad things when you're rich.
Yeah.
Get ran over by LeBron.
You want to sit courtside? These guys are massive and fast. Tough to stop.
Can't stop them.
Oh, that ball's coming this way? Gonna try to get it.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got anything else?
I do not.
I don't either. I'm all wrapped out.
All righty.
All right, man.
Whiteside.